In past years, people viewed the most improved player as a stat race. If your numbers improved a lot, then you were most likely going to be named in the most improved player race, and that sometimes you were most likely going to win. But I feel like the criteria needs to be changed just a little bit. Of course, your stats should have a huge say in you being the most improved player in the league, but I also feel like your impact should have that same amount of weight when it comes to being the most improved player. A lot of players have huge improvements this year as far as their stats, but I feel like it's only like 3 guys that are really the most improved player because their stats improved tremendously and also their impact improved a lot. Now, that's how I'm going to name my most improved players in this list. So you might not agree with mine, but that's just how I'm going to do it, bro, because I feel like that's just how it should be, man. I think that's how we should do it going forward. Before I name the top 3 players in the race, I want to name some of the players that didn't really make the cut. Shout out to Desmond Bain and Tyrese Maxey, man. They have stepped up and became the number 2 option for their team and are a huge reason why their teams are the teams they are now. The 76ers, I believe, are a 4 seed, and the Grizzlies are a 2 seed. And that's mostly because of the improvements of Tyrese Maxey and Desmond Bain. So shout out to them. The next shout out goes out to somebody that not a lot of people are talking about, Jackson Hayes. Last year, I'm going to be honest with you, Jackson Hayes should have been in the G League the whole year. He was a huge project. Even coming out of Texas, he was a huge project. But over this drama-filled offseason for him, because he had a lot of stuff going on this offseason, you could obviously see that he worked on the little things that will keep him in a rotation. He learned how to put the ball on the floor, and instead of just going up, getting a lot of charges called on him, because he does that all the time, he learned how to add a little jump shot to his repertoire, and that's helped him have steady minutes on this rising Pelicans team. So shout out to him. Then you got the guys that jumped up in points crazy like Anthony Simons and Miles Bridges, who jumped up like 8 points like they have been hooping all year. And this is their contract year and they're going to get paid. So also shout out to them because they are also going crazy. Now, like I said, I feel like it's 2 people that really are literally running away with this list. And it's a possible person that has a decent argument. Their person with the decent argument, to me, is DeJounte Murray. Now, to get into the argument, the player is DeJounte Murray. If you look at the Spurs roster, without him, even with him, they should be a lottery team. But they're in the play-in, and that's a huge testament to his improvement and also Coach Popovich being literally the best coach of all time. But mostly it's because of his improvement, man. DeJounte Murray from stats and from impact has jumped up tremendously. When you look at the stats, he went from last year averaging 15.7 points to 21.1 points this year, 5.4 assists last year to 9.2 assists this year, 7.1 rebounds last year to 8.3 assists this year, 45% from the field last year to 46% this year, and the only decrease in his stats is 36% from 3 last year and 32% from 3 this year. But other than that, man, his impact has came up crazy and his stats have went up crazy, man. I've always been a huge DeJounte Murray fan, and I can even say I didn't see this coming. I didn't see him first year playing by himself, him averaging 21, 9, and 8. And he got me looking into the future, man. DeJounte Murray might be that next guy to average a triple-double, him and Jokic. I definitely see that in the future, man. So shout out to DeJounte, man. The numbers is crazy. The reason why I don't have him higher than the guys that's above him is he's in the play-in, the 10th seed. The team's like 12 games under 500. So I gotta count that a little bit because that's the impact I'm talking about. Like I don't think any guy above him would have made this team any better. But I just gotta count their teams are actually in the playoffs and they're actually going crazy, and his team is just surviving in the terrible West. So he is 3 to me. Now this next player I really shouldn't have to make an argument for. But Ja Morant, man. This team, for me, they were projected to be a bottom play-in team, man. I felt like losing Valanciunas was a big loss, a huge loss. And I didn't understand it. And I felt like it was going to hurt them in the long run. But I was probably the farthest from wrong I've ever been in my life. They're a 2 seed right now, and Ja Morant has stepped up crazy. Huge testament to the rest of this team, man. He's a leader, a really good leader. But even when you look at the records that's saying, oh, they're like, 21-2 without him, don't pay attention to that, man. They're good with him and without him, but the reason why they're so good without him is because the foundation that he laid with this team is just amazing. His leadership with this team is amazing. But when you look at the stats, like I said, he was averaging 19.4 points last year. Jumped it up to 27.4. I did not see that coming at all. Assists went down a little bit, averaging 7.4 last year to 6.7 this year. 4 rebounds last year, 5.7 rebounds this year. 45% from the field last year, 49% from this year. And then 30% from 3 last year to 34% this year. He has improved crazy this whole season. But to me, I feel like I don't even look at the numbers when I talk about Ja. Ja's improvement is much more than numbers to me. The leadership is it's out of his mind. Talking about top 5 leader in the league, it's out of his mind, man. Yes, he's missed games, and yes, they won games without him. But like I said, he's laid the foundation. And then, even when he's not on the court, even when he's not playing, I don't think I've seen probably like a couple games where Ja Morant has not been on the bench. When he's hurt, he's still going to be on the bench. And when he's hurt, he's going to keep painting these positive narratives about his teammates, man. If you go to Ja Morant's Twitter, man, he talks about Jaren Jackson being the Defensive Player of the Year all the time. He says he'd rather see Desmond Bane on the most improved list over him. And I love that as a leader, man. And he says we got to give Coach of the Year to Coach Jenkins. Like, I love that as a leader, man. His leadership has always been there, but it's kind of shown this year because they're so dominant. It's so good. So he is in this race for me, and he's one of the top 2. I will tell you guys the winner at the end, but shout out to Ja Morant. He's this generational guy. Generational talent right there, man. The Cavaliers are finally back to playing huge, great basketball, and I think that is because Darius Garland has jumped into superstardom. He's taken a leap to superstardom. I knew he'd be way better this season than last season, but I didn't expect it to be this good. Same with Ja. I didn't expect the scoring to go up crazy, and I didn't expect both of their teams to be one of the best teams in the league. And the reason why I say the Cavs are one of the best teams in the league, because motherfucker, when we was at least a little bit healthy, we were. So I'm going to say that. I didn't expect that coming from these two, man. Like I said, Darius Garland has turned into an all-around elite talent. Probably not that much on the defensive side, but as far as offensive side, man, he's one of the top 15 best offensive players we have in this league, man. He can literally do anything you ask him or need him to do on the offensive side. And that's something he didn't have last year, man. When you look at the stats, averaging 17.4 points last year to 22 points this year, 6.1 assists last year to 8.6 this year, 2.4 last year to 3.3 this year, 2.4 rebounds to 3.3 rebounds this year. 45% from the field last year, 46% this year, 39% from 3 last year, 38% from 3 this year. And this is all while playing with some great elite talent. Jared Allen made an all-star team. He made it because of Darius Garland. Darius Garland feeding him all the time is the reason why he averaging 16 and 13. Evan Mobley is probably number 1 in the Rookie of the Year race. A huge part of that is because of Darius Garland. Darius Garland gives him all the points that he takes, man. Most of the points that Evan Mobley gets is from assists from Darius Garland or from Darius Garland just setting him up, putting him in the right spots. And you can say the same thing for the rest of the players on the team, man. The reason why a lot of these role players look so great is because they're playing next to Darius Garland. I know y'all might be like, yo, you're being really biased right now. Watch Cavs games. Watch him. I'm being honest with you. There's no reason in hell Jared Allen should have been an all-star this year as far as if he was playing like with another guard. But playing next to Darius Garland, he just got him looking like one of the best centers in the league. So that's it for that. Him and Ja both improved to make their teams elite playoff teams and destroyed a lot of narratives. Like I said, man, when Darius doesn't play, we suck. I've said that in multiple videos. When Darius don't play, we really suck. We go from a top 12 offense to a bottom 5 offense as soon as Darius doesn't play. Darius missed 2 weeks and we only won 1 game. So stuff like that, man. That's just showing the impact along with the stats that can go with his most improved player case. Now, when I look at the most improved player race, man, this is how you know I'm not biased. I think by far it should be Ja Morant. But many people feel like, and I understand, Ja Morant shouldn't even be in the most improved player race. He should be in the MVP race. He's averaging 27 and 6. On a top 2 team in the league. He should be in the MVP race. But, like I said, man, Ja Morant has improved in every aspect of his game this year. So I think he should be most improved player. But if he doesn't get it, it's no reason why it shouldn't be anybody else but Darius Garland. Darius Garland went from a good complimentary piece to an all-star, future superstar that's going to get a supermax this offseason. And I think that's just improvement. That's improvement, man. And you can even see it when you look at his team's record and look at the records when he plays, it's off the page. It's off the page. So I think if we're not going to give it to Ja, which I think it should go to Ja, I think it should be unanimously going to Ja. If we're not going to give it to Ja, we have to give it to Darius Garland. So let me know what you think, man. We didn't get a Pirtle video because somebody spoiled it like a fucking weirdo. But we'll probably be back with that tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Defensive Player of the Year race and Coach of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is kind of hard, so don't expect a long video for that one. But other than that, man, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.